Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Brush, The Art of Algorithm. In the last episode, we covered how AI related to art generation really works, and the knickknacks behind it. If you haven't seen it yet, please click on the link in the description below and take a look. Similarly, you can find any works referenced down below as well. Today, we are going to look at things in a more legal scope. What is originality and copyright? So current US copyright law protects work if they meet a minimal creativity standard and are independently produced. No copying allowed. Thus, simply hitting generate in an AI tool usually doesn't yield protectable art unless you actively shape the result. So, in general, AI art itself is not copyrightable unless there is some human activity involved post-art generation. This same principle is what allows a human artist's art to be protected by copyright. To sum up, images created just from prompting AI are not protected by copyright. However, if there is human creative arrangement or modification, the end product is protected but not the AI portion. This leads to the next question. Is there any part of the AI art process, whether generating or output, that infringes on copyright? Is there possible infringement? The AI generating process can be split into two parts, training data and outputs. The training data involves the AI models are trained on. If they are trained on copyrighted images without licensing or fair use justification, it could be classified as infringement. AI companies often rely on fair use, arguing training is transformative, but this claim is under frequent legal challenge. If an AI generates images that overly resemble a copyrighted artwork or style without added human creativity, legal risk increases and there may be infringement involved. So, are there any real legal claims? Many artists within the art community currently claim that AI art is theft. However, just how well do these claims hold up? Let's examine a real-life Supreme Court case. In Supreme Court case Andy Warhol Foundation versus Goldsmith, a film director called Lynn Goldsmith took a photograph of a singer named Prince, and the photo was featured for a commercial magazine. The photo was then licensed to Warhol for usage as reference. However, it was then used as the basis for an entire collection and later on featured as a cover of a magazine, both of which Goldsmith never agreed to. The Supreme Court ended up ruling in Goldsmith's favor, declaring that fair use didn't apply in this case. This was because the photos ended up in commercial usage similar to Goldsmith's original photo, and the collection itself was too similar to Goldsmith's original photo. This real-life example showcases copyright and how not everything falls under fair use. In this case, the original piece was not transformed enough for it to be considered fair usage and infringed on Goldsmith's copyrighted photo. That being said, art generating AI showcases some similarities as well as differences. AI companies often argue fair use when they scrape copyrighted images off the internet, as after feeding images into their models, the images generated are entirely new images that are not the same as the original ones. However, the stylistic rendering ends up being extremely similar to whichever artist's work they end up using, which is where the argument of stealing comes from. This claim is still a hot debate amongst the public, with some arguing that these claims have merit, while others believe that they are baseless and AI companies have done no wrong. There are still many cases pending, and future rulings and regulations will definitely shape the way AI-generated artwork is integrated into society. So, being that AI-generated art is still relatively new compared to many other technologies, especially with it continuously developing, the laws and regulations related to it are still evolving as well. As of right now, it doesn't seem like AI-generated art infringes on authors' copyrights according to the law, but future regulations could change these rulings. However, just because such actions are legal, does this mean they are moral? Follow along with our next episode in the series, Beyond the Brush, The Art of Algorithm, where we discuss how ethical AI-generated art really is. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time!